In this session, we will look at the module 3, which is about understanding the community informatics aspects of telecentres. So, may I invite Ms. Shipra Sharma to deliver her lecture on the third module. So, for your learners' point of view, I have requested Ms. Shipra Sharma to explain each of these units.
Thank you, Vignesh, and welcome viewers. Now I am going to introduce module 3, that is community informatics, and there are again 3 units in this module. These are introduction to community informatics, the second module is community information flows, and the third unit is information stakeholders, gaps and entrepreneurship. Now I am going to tell you the content in unit 1, that is introduction to community informatics. Community informatics is basically a very new and emerging field. Basically it's about applying ICTs to enhance the personal, social, cultural and economic development of people, especially for those people who have not been able to access ICTs and who don't have the skills and knowledge about the ICTs. So community informatics makes it possible for these people to understand how different information and communication technologies can be used for their empowerment and for their community's empowerment also. So this is what community informatics is all about, and there is another part of community informatics, that is using ICTs for development, or we call it the ICT for D field. Information for development is the planned and systematic use of information to improve the livelihoods of the people and to improve their information seeking behavior too. So its main objectives are to enable the community to get the right information at the right time at the right place, to increase awareness on common problems and explore possible solutions, to mobilize people to address common problems, to enhance the decision-making power of the community with the help of right information and with the help of these technologies, and then to apply the same information technology to training and extension programs, particularly at the grassroots level, to improve the quality and impact of the programs. These are the basic objectives of ICT for D, or information for development field. And community informatics in fact encompasses all these things. It basically studies the information seeking behavior of the people, rural people, and then it tries to introduce the ICTs, or the information communication technologies, to enhance their information seeking behavior and provide them with better and enhanced knowledge and information. So when we study a community, if you look at the information seeking behavior of the village people or villagers, you will see that basically they seek information from first of all from their elders, because they respect their elders. They also trust that the information which the elders are going to provide, it would be true and it would be good for them, and it is a trusted information. So first of all, the persons from whom they seek information are the elders. Apart from the elders, they also seek information from various government agencies. Like if a health worker goes to the village and he talks about the health problems and its solutions, villagers believe him because they think that he is a competent person to provide that kind of information. So in each community, people have different kinds of information seeking behavior. So and the whole science, or the whole method of knowing all these things is called as the information studying the information seeking behavior of the villagers. Generally people in the villages or in other like tribal societies, they seek information from the elders because they treat them as esteemed people, as knowledgeable people, and therefore whatever information they provide, they understand it, and they also provide them information in their own language, in the idioms or the phrases that they understand. So they are also able to understand the information provided by the elders. So this is the first unit, what it's all about. Now I am going to translate the same unit, speak about the same unit in Hindi also. So हम लोगों ने मॉड्यूल 3 का कोर्स शुरू कर दिया है। ये कम्युनिटी इन्फॉर्मेटिक्स पे ही है। कम्युनिटी इन्फॉर्मेटिक्स को मैं हिंदी में ट्रांसलेट नहीं करूंगी, इसको यही वर्ड मैं यूज करूंगी। इसके अंदर भी 3 यूनिट हैं, जिसमें कि एक में आपको कम्युनिटी इन्फॉर्मेटिक्स से आपका परिचय कराया जाएगा। दूसरे में यूनिट में कम्युनिटी में इंफॉर्मेशन और जो ज्ञान और जो सूचनाएं हैं कैसे वो ली जाती हैं और कैसे वो मतलब उसके अंदर फैलाई जाती हैं, इसके बारे में बताया जाएगा। और यूनिट 3 में आपको जो इंफॉर्मेशन स्टेक होल्डर्स हैं और जो पार्टिसिपेंट्स हैं, जो कि आपको इंफॉर्मेशन या ज्ञान या किसी तरह की सूचना देते हैं, उन लोगों के बारे में बताया जाएगा। और इंफॉर्मेशन एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप के बारे में भी आपको बताया जाएगा। सो बेसिकली कम्युनिटी इंफॉर्मेटिक्स में हम लोग इंफॉर्मेशन टेक्नोलॉजीज की सहायता से लोगों को इंफॉर्मेशन पहुंचाते हैं। और हम लोग इंफॉर्मेशन टेक्नोलॉजीज को उन लोगों की बेहतरी के लिए, हर तरह की सामाजिक, आर्थिक और उनकी राजनीतिक बेहतरी के लिए उसको इस्तेमाल करते हैं। तो ये जो फील्ड है, इसको इंफॉर्मेशन इंफॉर्मेटिक्स कहा जाता है, कम्युनिटी इंफॉर्मेटिक्स कहा जाता है। और इस फील्ड का एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट है ICT for D और इंफॉर्मेशन कम्युनिकेशन फॉर डेवलपमेंट। इसमें यही सिखाया जाता है कि कैसे हम लोग इंफॉर्मेशन कम्युनिकेशन टेक्नोलॉजी की सहायता से एक गांव का या एक समाज का विकास कर सकते हैं, कैसे उसको हम लोग यूज कर सकते हैं, इन सब चीजों के बारे में सिखाया जाता है। और क्योंकि ICT जो है या इंफॉर्मेशन कम्युनिकेशन टेक्नोलॉजीज जो हैं, वो हम लोगों को इंफॉर्मेशन जिस जगह पे हम हैं वहां पे हमें बहुत आराम से वो पहुंचा देते हैं, हम लोग उसको ले सकते हैं। और इसके अलावा ये जो हम लोग के पास वैसे जो इंफॉर्मेशन, हम लोग का जो सीकिंग जो बिहेवियर है, उसके अंदर हम लोग एक आध लोगों के पास ही जाते हैं। ज्यादातर अपने समाज के जो वृद्ध लोग हैं, जो जिनको हम जानते हैं कि उनके पास ज्ञान है या उनके पास अच्छी नॉलेज है, उनके पास जाते हैं। पर ICTs के द्वारा आप पूरे संसार से आप इंफॉर्मेशन ले सकते हैं, किसी भी भाग से संसार के, और किसी भी तरीके का इंफॉर्मेशन आप कंप्यूटर के जरिए और इंटरनेट के जरिए आप ले सकते हैं। तो यही सब कुछ इस यूनिट में बताया गया है। नाउ आई एम गोइंग टू द सेकेंड यूनिट, दैट इज ऑन कम्युनिटी इंफॉर्मेशन फ्लोज विद इन अ कम्युनिटी। The learning outcomes of this particular unit are understanding information flows within a community, explain the difference between information access and information flow, list 3 uses of information in your community. So first of all, let us start with understanding information flow. Information flow basically refers to tracking information by the people of a particular community. This information may be new or just introduced into the conversation, given or already active in community members' consciousness. That is old information and which is no longer active. Understanding information flow means to know about the distribution of information in society instead of focusing only on improving communication. For your tele-centered success, you must understand the information flow in communities. Information could serve the needs of various kinds. So through information you can gain some about the politics or the political structure of your community. Information flows also help you to understand the economic structure of a community, the class structure and caste structure, and various religions that are present in a particular community. Along with that, it also helps to understand the age and gender. Actually, there are several challenges. It's not very easy to seek information or understand information flow. There are various challenges which limit information flow within a community. So these are lack of an information sharing culture among people and institutions. Sometimes people try to keep their knowledge or their information to themselves. Sometimes they pass it from one generation to another generation, but the same information or knowledge stays in the family. They don't want to share it with others. So this is one of the challenges that prohibits the flow of information within a community. And then there is a general lack of concern among people and institutions to act on information. Sometimes as a concerned person, you provide information to the people, but people are very hesitant to act on those information. Sometimes they don't rely on you, they don't trust you, so they are not very keen to work or accept those information given by you. Now we move on to information access and flow. These are two different things, information access and information flow. Information access basically refers to opportunities or ways available for individual to get information from different sources, for example from individuals or from the web or through the internet, and from institutions or from public, from local government agencies or people like that. Telecenters can increase the number of resources of interaction, intensity of interaction, and increase in the types of information. When you are seeking information on a face-to-face basis, it's very limited. If one person, you are seeking information from one person, maybe he knows something about that, but he doesn't know the whole spectrum of the information that he is going to provide. So if you go to a telecenter provides a wide spectrum of information. It collects information from all over the world, and it provides the information that is relevant to you, to the community. So this is how the telecenters help in increasing the number of sources of information, and then they also increase the intensity of interaction. Like if you get some information, they also encourage you to interact among themselves and think about that information and how to act upon that information. So it increases the intensity of interaction among people, and then it also increases in the it provides various types of information. So that is also helpful for you. So you are not your knowledge is not restricted to one thing only. You know several aspects of that particular thing. And then this is how telecenters help in information access. Now information flow refers to the supply and availability of information within a community, like how from which agencies or people you seek information, you go for information or knowledge. And sometimes these sources are very restricted. Like if as I was saying about traditional skills, if the skill is staying within the family, then those people won't be very eager to share that particular information with you. So this is in this way information flow is restricted. It flows within the family only, not beyond that. And at the same time, some societies are very open. They are open to share their traditional knowledge, whatever skills they know and information they have. Telecenters can increase the production and dissemination of information also. So telecenters generally collate all kinds of information, and they then pick out the relevant information which is relevant for the community, and then they disseminate this information in various ways. It's not a face-to-face way in which the telecenters disseminate information. Sometimes they may be using loudspeakers to tell people about some disease that is happening in the society. They can tell you about the prevention of that particular disease that is happening in the village community. So they can use various methods to disseminate the information also. And now I am going to touch upon the topic of information use. Increasing and improving information access and flow have a significant impact on community information use. Like earlier, when the people, the information flow and use was very restricted. They were going only to their elders or to some government agencies and other people to seek information. It was very limited. But because the telecenter has come up, it has been established, it's providing a variety of information to the people. So it is going to impact the information seeking behavior of the people also. They will start trusting it. They will go to the telecenter to seek information, and in this way the community information use also increases. They know that if they have a particular problem, they won't keep it to themselves. They know the place where they can go and get a solution for that problem. They can get information about that problem. So telecenter can increase the information use in the community also. and for doing this they have to take some steps, like they have to increase access to the right information for the people. They have to provide training on information decision making and use. They have to provide technical assistance in accessing information, because in a village community not everybody will be familiar with operating a computer or getting information from the web through the internet. So telecenter manager is the intermediary who acts as an intermediary and provides this kind of information from the web to the people, rural people. And then he can also link the information with inputs. It's not simply providing information to the people, but he can also add value to that information. Like I said, he can localize the information, he can like make it according to the needs of the people. Whatever information the people need, he can adapt the information according to their needs. So this is what is there in the second unit. And I am also going to touch upon it in Hindi for the benefit of the Hindi speakers. हमारा जो सेकंड मॉड्यूल है उसके अंदर हम लोग एक समाज में किस तरह से सूचना का बहाव किस तरह से होता है उसके बारे में जानकारी हासिल करेंगे. एक टेलीसेंटर मैनेजर के लिए ये जानकारी बहुत ही जरूरी है, क्योंकि बेसिकली एक टेलीसेंटर मैनेजर का मेन जो काम है वो सूचनाओं को कलेक्ट करना और फिर उनको मतलब लोगों में फैलाना है. तो इसीलिए इसकी जानकारी टेलीसेंटर मैनेजर के लिए बहुत जरूरी है. और इसके लिए सबसे पहले उसको ये समझना पड़ेगा कि सूचनाएं एक समाज में या एक ग्रामीण समाज में किस तरह से वो फैलती हैं, किस तरह से उनका बहाव होता है. उसको जानकारी है कि वो सूचनाएं किस तरह की उनकी वो जरूरतों को पूरा करती हैं. जैसे कि एक छोटे से गांव के समाज में भी उनकी अपनी राजनैतिक, आर्थिक, उनकी अपनी कास्ट और उनका जो धर्म है या उनका जो एज है, जेंडर है, उसके हिसाब से उनको इन्फॉर्मेशन चाहिए होता है. एक औरत को जो इन्फॉर्मेशन चाहिए वो एक आदमी को नहीं चाहिए होता है कई बार, और एक बच्चे को इन्फॉर्मेशन जिस इन्फॉर्मेशन की जरूरत होती है वो बड़े को नहीं होती है. तो इन सब चीजों को ध्यान में रख करके जो एक समाज में जो सूचना का बहाव होता है उसको समझने की जरूरत होती है एक टेलीसेंटर मैनेजर को. और कई बार जो हम लोग सूचना अगर टेलीसेंटर मैनेजर देना भी चाहता है तो उसको देने में उसको बहुत सारी उसकी राह में बहुत सारे विघ्न आते हैं. जैसे कि कई बार लोगों को इन्फॉर्मेशन मिल जाती है पर वो उसको काम में नहीं लाना चाहते हैं क्योंकि वो उस पर विश्वास नहीं करते हैं. और कई बार जो हमारे जो सामाजिक कुछ ऐसे नीति, सामाजिक जो बंधन भी है, जैसे कि हमारा जो कास्ट सिस्टम है, ये भी रेस्ट्रिक्ट करता है सूचना के बहाव को एक समाज में. और उसके बाद फिर हम लोगों ने इसी तरीके से कैसे इन्फॉर्मेशन एक विलेज गांव के समाज में लिया जाता है और कैसे उसका बहाव रहता है और कैसे टेलीसेंटर मैनेजर इसको और ज्यादा इसके अंदर प्रभाव पैदा कर सकता है, क्योंकि वो बहुत जगहों से इन्फॉर्मेशन लेके और फिर उस कम्युनिटी को दे सकता है. और वो उनके अंदर इंटरैक्शन, वो फिर उनको इस चीज के लिए भी जागरूक करता है कि वो आपस में बात करें उस इन्फॉर्मेशन के ऊपर. और इस तरह से वो उसको जो यहाँ तक कि जो बहुत जो रिस्ट्रिक्टेड इंफॉर्मेशन भी होती है उसको वो ओपन बनाता है, वो सब लोगों को रहती है, वो किसी एक खास समाज के वर्ग के पास सीमित नहीं रहती है. और इंफॉर्मेशन यूज के बारे में भी हम लोगों ने पढ़ा, जिसका ये अर्थ होता है कि जो टेलीसेंटर मैनेजर है वो उसका मेन काम यही है कि वो एक ग्रामीण समाज में इंफॉर्मेशन के यूज को बढ़ाए और वो सबसे पहले तो उनको वो मुहैया कराए जो भी उनकी जानकारी की उसको जरूरत है. उसके अलावा फिर वो उनको टेक्निकल असिस्टेंस भी दे, क्योंकि सभी गांव वालों को ये पता नहीं रहता है कैसे कंप्यूटर चलाना है, कैसे उनको इंटरनेट से इंफॉर्मेशन लेना है, तो वो उसमें इनकी मदद करता है. नाउ वी आर मूविंग ऑन टू यूनिट 3, दैट इज इंफॉर्मेशन स्टेक होल्डर्स, गैप्स एंड एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप. The learning outcome of this unit are when you complete this unit you will be able to list 5 information stakeholders in a community, understand the meaning of information gap, know about information entrepreneurship, and list 3 information services and products required in a community. First of all, let us discuss about the stakeholders in community informatics. You have already learned about stakeholders in telecenter management. There are several people, agencies and institutions that help you in running a telecenter. As likewise, there are various stakeholders who can also help you in collecting information from the community and disseminating the same information within the community. So committee members may not be interacting with each other due to several factors that relate, among other things, to the following aspects. Sometimes people are not able to interact with each other. They have their own limitations. They don't want to approach a particular person for a particular kind of information. So these are the particular behaviors that restrict interaction between the people. So, and there are other things also that restrict information seeking behavior among different individuals. These are culture, caste, class, age, gender, politics, economics, religion, education and language. Sometimes as I said, people from a particular caste would not talk to people from another caste, or would not share the information with people from other caste. Likewise, education is also a hindrance. Sometimes an educated person would not be able to convey his messages to the illiterate people, because he would be using a different kind of language or phrases. And likewise, language is also a big hindrance in limiting the information seeking behavior of the village communities, because sometimes I am speaking in English and somebody understands only Hindi. He won't understand me if I am speaking only in English. So these are the main hindrances in information community informatics. Now I will tell you about the main information stakeholders in the community, people from whom the telecenter manager can seek information and collate information. These are the local community leaders and opinion makers. There are several community leaders, like there may be caste leaders or religious leaders. People respect these people, as I said earlier. So they generally go to these people to seek information. So if the telecenter manager interacts with these people, the local community leaders, he will also get the respect of the community. Then there are community elders, people in local governance, like there are people in the panchayat or the sarpanch or the other panchayat members. The telecenter managers should also interact with these people to get information. Sometimes these people are not aware about government schemes. So it's the duty of the telecenter manager to go and talk to these people how much information they have about government schemes, and also tell them about additional information. And through these people he can also gather the information, tell it to the community. So he can act as an intermediary between the local government and the community. Then there are small businesses also flourishing within a village community. People may be having small shops in the villages. He can also interact with these people. He can also tell them that how the telecenter can enhance their business, how the telecenter can provide them with more customers, and how they can also advertise their products on the web, and they can get a wider customer base. And then there are clients. The clients means the people who are seeking directly some services or some products from the telecenters. Like if a farmer comes to the telecenter to seek information on growing a particular kind of crop, like the cotton crop, then he becomes a telecenter client. So he is also one of the information stakeholder. Then there are non-profit organizations. A telecenter manager has a two-way interaction with non-profit organizations. Basically, on one hand, he seeks information from them, and sometimes he also provides information to them. So the non-profit organizations, NGOs also are one of the most important information stakeholders. Then there is the local government, and local government is not limited to the panchayat only. There may be government officials at the district level and beyond that, with whom the telecenter managers has to interact, and he has to gather information. So these are the main information stakeholders present in any community or village society. Now, once he is telecenter manager is familiar with the people with whom he has to share information or from whom he has to collect information. Now we are moving on identifying information gaps. This is very important for a telecenter manager to make his business a success in the village community. First of all, he has to identify the gaps in the products, in the services, and in the information that is not available at the village level, like not even the elders or the caste members or religious leaders, they may not be able to provide this kind of information. So he has to identify the gaps, and he has to use his skills, his computer skills, his web skills to gather those information and provide it to the villagers. So identification of information gap is an important step to define the action plans for your telecenter. An information gap occurs when what is intended to be communicated does not get through the stakeholder. Communication gaps can happen due to various reasons: the way the message is designed, how it is conveyed, and how it is received. Sometimes once you have identified an information gap, along with identifying an information gap, you have to also clarify some things for people to understand. Sometimes, like the doctors, they talk in a different language. The common person or a villager is not able to understand what the doctor is saying. So the telecenter manager can also help the villagers in understanding the information provided by these people, by the experts. So in a way, he fills this kind of a gap also in the village society. So communication gaps can happen due to various reasons. The way the message is designed, like I said, a doctor talks in a certain way that may not be understood by the villagers. Then how it is conveyed to a villager, the language in which it is conveyed, or how he is talking to the villager. Maybe the behavior of the doctor is intimidating. The villager gets frightened. He won't understand what the doctor is talking. So that is also important. And how it is received. Received means how it is understood by the information seeker. So if he doesn't understand the information, it would be of no use. So here the telecenter manager can intervene, and he can provide his he can help the villager to understand these things. Now we are moving on to how to identify information gaps. They can be identified first of all by looking back, like getting the feedback from your community users in one of the best ways to identify the information gap. Like you can directly talk to the community and ask them what are the information that they seek, but that is not available in the community. So this is how by interacting with the community you can identify the information gap. Then the other method is looking forward. Another way to identify an information gap is to understand the gaps which might be emerging either in the community or in the people's personal lives. Again, you can help the community to identify what kind of information could be of benefit, where to find the information, and how it could be accessed. Like some of the informations may not be available in the community, but community people may be seeking knowledge about that. Like they may be interested in knowing about HIV/AIDS, but that information is not available at the local health worker. So the telecenter manager can come in here and he can help the villagers. Now the last section of this unit is information entrepreneurship. You know, entrepreneur is a person who understands a gap in the market. He understands that this particular thing is not available in the market. Then he conceives a business around that. Like if as a telecenter manager, you identify that information is not available very readily to the people. Information is not available in the language that the people seek it, and information is not available right at the doorstep of the villagers. So here he can conceive of a business like a telecenter, and he can provide the same information to the villagers. So here he is using his business skills. Like for running any business, you need some skills. You need to know the market, you need to know your clients, you need to know about the service providers or the people from whom you are going to seek information, products and services to sell. So as a telecenter professional, you are also an information entrepreneur, because you identify that people don't have information in a particular area. Then you contact the people who have that, people or experts who have that information. You gather it from them and then you sell it to the villagers. So in this way you become an information entrepreneur. and an information entrepreneur understands the critical information needs of the community and transforms them into services and products. So as an information entrepreneur, you have to create content, like you have to gather information from different people, you have to gather different services also from different agencies, and then you have to package the content, the same thing. And then packaging in the telecenter context means localizing the content, information or the services, making it or adapting it to the needs of the people, and then disseminate the same content. Disseminate the same content among the people either when they come to the telecenter, or you can use other methods also to disseminate your services and products. And then you have to, once you have packaged a service, like you have some information on agriculture, you have the information of weather conditions, the crops that can be grown in that weather condition, the fertilizers that can be used, or how you can initiate organic farming of that particular crop. So he can package it, he can make a database of that information, and he can resell the same things to different people, to many people. So information entrepreneurship helps in achieving telecenter sustainability, because once you start creating your own products and services, once you start packaging it and then selling it, automatically you will earn some, you will generate some revenue, and you will earn profit also. So becoming an information entrepreneurship is very important for a telecenter manager. It helps you making the telecenter sustainable. So you won't be dependent on any donor agency or any other organization or the community in running the telecenter. You can run it on their own. So this is the all that is there in this particular unit. हमारा जो तीसरा यूनिट है वो है इंफॉर्मेशन स्टेक होल्डर्स पे, उन लोगों पे जो जिनसे कि हम सूचनाएं लेते हैं या उनको देते हैं, और सूचना के फील्ड में जो गैप्स हैं, जहाँ पे सूचना गांव वालों को अवेलेबल नहीं है, और सूचना एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप और सूचना बेचने की जो कला होती है, जैसे कि बिजनेसमैन में जो कला होती है, इन सब चीजों के बारे में हम लोग जानेंगे। तो सबसे पहले तो ये हम जानते हैं कि कौन से ऐसे लोग हैं जिनसे कि हम लोग एक ग्रामीण समाज में हम लोग सूचनाएं ले सकते हैं। और ये बहुत सारे लोग होते हैं, जैसे कम्युनिटी के लीडर्स भी होते हैं, उनसे सूचनाएं ले सकते हैं। कम्युनिटी के जो बड़े बूढ़े होते हैं, उनसे हमें बहुत तरह की सूचनाएं मिल सकती हैं। फिर वहां पे छोटे मोटे बिजनेस करने वाले होते हैं, और आपके जो टेलीसेंटर में जो लोग आते हैं, जो आपसे अपना काम करवाते हैं या आपको काम देते हैं और आप किससे कुछ खरीदते हैं, वो आपको सूचना प्रदान करते हैं। और उसके बाद फिर एनजीओज भी जो हैं, वो उनसे आप सूचना लेते हैं और उनको आप सूचना देते हैं। इसी तरीके से लोकल गवर्नमेंट जो है, पंचायत है, या जो डिस्ट्रिक्ट लेवल पे जो गवर्नमेंट एजेंसीज हैं, उनसे भी आप सूचनाएं वगैरह ले सकते हैं। और एक जो ग्रामीण समाज है उसमें सूचना लेना या देना बहुत मुश्किल काम होता है, ये बहुत आसान नहीं होता है। जब आप जान गए हैं कि आपको किन किन लोगों से आप सूचना दे सकते हैं और किन किन लोगों से ले सकते हैं, उसके बाद आपको जब आपको एक टेलीसेंटर चलाना है, आपको ये पता करना है कि उस समाज में किस तरह की सूचना अभी तक उनको मिली नहीं है। तो इसके बारे में आप दो तरीके से जान सकते हैं। एक है लुकिंग बैक, मतलब आप लोगों के साथ बात कर सकते हैं, उनका जो पुराना जो एक्सपीरियंस है उसके बेसिस पे आप पता चला सकते हैं कि कौन कौन सी सूचनाएं उनके पास नहीं है। और कई बार आपको उनसे मतलब आगे लुकिंग फॉरवर्ड है, इसका मतलब ये होता है कि कई चीजें ऐसी हैं जो कि अभी उस कम्युनिटी में आई नहीं है या उसके बारे में अभी चर्चा शुरू नहीं हुई है, पर फिर भी कुछ लोग हैं जो कि उसके बारे में जानना चाहते हैं। तो जैसे कि मैंने HIV एड्स के बारे में बताया, तो इसके बारे में भी इंफॉर्मेशन जब आप एक टेलीसेंटर मैनेजर बनते हैं, आप अपना टेलीसेंटर चलाते हैं, तो आपको ये सब ध्यान रखना चाहिए किस चीज के बारे में वो पूछ सकते हैं, क्या उनकी आगे की सूचना की जरूरतें हो सकती हैं। तो इस तरह से सूचना के जो भी कमियां हैं, उसकी जो जरूरत पूरी नहीं हो रही है, उसको पूरा करके आप अपने टेलीसेंटर को फायदा पहुंचा सकते हैं। और क्योंकि आप एक सूचना को बेचने वाले, आप एक बिजनेसमैन हैं, एक टेलीसेंटर मैनेजर एक उसको सोशल एंटरप्रेन्योर कहते हैं, मतलब एक सामाजिक कार्यकर्ता भी है वो एक तरफ, और दूसरी तरफ वो एक बिजनेसमैन भी है, क्योंकि उसको अपना बिजनेस भी चलाना है, उसको सिर्फ सामाजिक कार्य ही नहीं करना है। तो आपको सूचना इस तरह से वो इकट्ठी करनी चाहिए, फिर उसके बाद उनको सूचना को पैकेज करना चाहिए, मतलब जिस भाषा में वहां के लोग बोलते हैं उस भाषा में आप उसको आसान भाषा में सूचना को आप दीजिए, तो ये पैकेजिंग कहलाती है। तो उसके बाद फिर आपको ये भी देखना पड़ेगा कि इस तरह से उस सूचना को मैं फैलाऊं। जैसे आप अगर कृषि के बारे में बताना चाहते हैं तो सबसे पहले तो यह है कि आप इस सूचना को सिर्फ आप किसानों को दीजिएगा, बाकी लोगों के लिए उतना जरूरी नहीं होगा। तो ये सब देख करके फिर आप कैसे फैलाइएगा। सब लोग टेलीसेंटर पर नहीं आएंगे, कुछ लोगों के लिए आपको भी बाहर जाना पड़ेगा उनको ये सूचना देने के लिए या उनको अपने टेलीसेंटर पर लाने के लिए, तो ये भी बहुत जरूरी है। और फिर अगर एक बार आपने पूरी एक सूचना का पैकेज बना लिया तो आप उसको कई अपने क्लाइंट्स को, कई जो ग्राहक है उनको आप बेच सकते हैं। तो इस तरह से अगर आप एक सूचना प्रदान करने वाले बिजनेसमैन बन जाते हैं तो आप न सिर्फ उस समाज का भला करते हैं बल्कि आप अपने टेलीसेंटर को भी एक बिजनेस की तरह उसको चला सकते हैं और उससे आप प्रॉफिट भी कमा सकते हैं, जो कि कोई भी मतलब एक बिजनेसमैन या सोशल एंटरप्रेन्योर भी चाहता है।
Thank you so much, Shipra. Now let us take only one question from the learners, and then we will quickly explain the assignment for course 1. Only one question, please.
Sir, as the ma'am was explaining, at a times, many a times, it will be the responsibility of the telecenter manager to, work on the information which is to be provided. So many times we are working as a social entrepreneur, and at the same time we have to basically maintain the cost of the telecenter also.
Right.
So how is it possible? Suppose I have some information regarding the weather forecast for maybe next cropping season. Then if it is suitable for the developed countries because farmers are well to do, they have information, means they have the resources. But in country which is, many farmers are striving and they are on the verge of suicides and all. So how do we expect to sell information on weather forecasting even if they are not able to purchase the pesticides or the fertilizers?
That's a very good question. Actually, this question confronts every telecenter manager because they are called social entrepreneur. So on the one hand, they have to think about the welfare of the community. On the other hand, they have to provide information also. So if you see, you will find that a village community is not a homogeneous community. Like if in a village there may be different classes of people. It's not that there are only poor people who are starving or who are committing suicide. There may be also a well-to-do group who can afford or who can buy information from you. So you have to target that group, and if possible, because you are a social entrepreneur also, so you should provide this kind of information. Like if a cotton growing farmer, he is facing some problem and he is below the poverty line and he is starving and he is on the on the brink of committing suicide, then you should help him also. So on the one hand, you can gain some profit or gain some generate some revenue from well-to-do farmers, and you can also help like the poor farmer and by providing information to them. So you have to balance these things. It's very important to balance between profit generation and then community development. So this is what you have to keep in mind, and it's a very I will say it's very difficult to maintain this balance. Sometimes telecenter closed down because of this.
Also, you have to explain how do you market it. That is critical. For example, if you go and tell them like this is the forecast information, you give me 5 rupees, I will give you. That should not be the approach. What you have to do is you have to explain them if there is going to be rain in the next 1 or 2 weeks. You should tell them like if you do the cultivation now, you will get more profit, which will result in increased revenue for you and your family. Also, it's not just one information. For example, tell them this is not the seed which you have to use, and if you use a different seed, you will get much more production. So you have to be very strategic enough and think out of the box. And for that purpose, we have created this program. Don't just there is a specific unit on marketing and promoting your telecenter. How do you market and how do you sell it to different user groups? For example, if 2-3 marginal farmers, like very small land holding farmers, could jointly come to you and say this is like 5 rupees we can pay, and you could give the information to us. So that kind of approach also you should have.
Okay, so first make them realize the importance of the information they're going to
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the information entrepreneurship aspect.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you to our learner and Shipra. Now let us quickly move on to the critical part of this session, which is as a course requirement, all of you needs to submit a course assignment for each course. For example, if you have taken course 1, Telecenter and Community Informatics, you have to submit an assignment, and we have already given you the assignment topics. We have given 3 topics on which you have to submit an essay, or draw a picture, or give us a photo essay which has 10 photographs, or make a small video of 10 minutes. And the topics given to you are 1. Explain the various steps involved in telecenter management. So this has come in module 1. So you might have studied already, like what are the steps involved in telecenter management. And the second topic is identify the local needs of your community using the community need assessment toolkit. So this is a topic 2. And the third topic is map your local community resources as explained in unit 2 of module 2. So if you look at, for example, I will give you an example. Map your local community resources as explained in unit 2. So in module 2 we have explained how to map a resource, your community resource, your village resources. For example, like you may have to take draw a village map and then depict where the streets are located and which is the street name, where is the community well located, where is the bus stop located, and what are the other information that you could resources that are available within the community. So you could easily draw a picture and submit to us. So each assignment carries the weightage of 50 marks. So this is like very critical. So the assignment has equal importance. So this is the first assignment which you will be submitting. The last date for submission is 2nd September 2011. So you have to submit the assignment 1 on the 2nd September, and you could choose one of these topics. It's not necessary that you have to submit all the 3 topics. You can choose one of these topics, and then you can write an essay on the topic, or you can draw the same as a picture, or you could do a photo essay. And Shipra can explain it in Hindi. Just 1 minute.
Okay. आप लोगों को जो असाइनमेंट दिया गया है, मैं उसके बारे में हिंदी में बताना चाहती हूँ. ये आपको 3 सब्जेक्ट, आपको 3 विषय सुझाए गए हैं. उनमें से आपको सिर्फ एक ही पे अपना असाइनमेंट करना है. और ये असाइनमेंट जो आप कीजिएगा, उसको जो आपको प्रेजेंट करने का तरीका है, आप इनमें से कोई भी एक तरीका इसमें से आप चूज कर सकते हैं. या तो आप इसके ऊपर एक शॉर्ट वीडियो बना सकते हैं, एक शॉर्ट फिल्म बना सकते हैं, या आप इसके ऊपर एक शॉर्ट फोटो ऐसे लिख सकते हैं, जो कि उसके अंदर कुछ पिक्चर्स भी होंगी और कुछ मतलब आप उसको एक्सप्लेन भी कर सकते हैं शब्दों में. तो इन सबको मिलाजुला, पिक्चर और शब्दों को मिलाजुला आप एक फोटो ऐसे बना सकते हैं. और उसके बाद फिर आप सिर्फ एक ड्राइंग ही बना सकते हैं, आप उस चीज को दिखाने के लिए. जैसे कि कम्युनिटी रिसोर्स मैपिंग है, इसको दिखाने के लिए आप कम्युनिटी एक मैप बना सकते हैं और उसके अंदर दिखा सकते हैं कौन सी चीज इस गांव में कहाँ पे है, कहाँ पे डॉक्टर बैठते हैं, कहाँ पे बस स्टॉप है, कहाँ पे ये सब चीजें हैं, इसके बारे में बता सकते हैं. और फिर उसके बाद अगर जो चौथा आपके पास ऑप्शन है वो है कि 1000 शब्दों में आप इसके ऊपर लिख सकते हैं. जो पहला जो असाइनमेंट है वो है कि टेलीसेंटर मैनेजमेंट में जो भी उसके जो स्टेप्स होते हैं उसके बारे में आप विस्तार से लिखिए. टेलीसेंटर कैसे मैनेज किया जाता है इसके स्टेप्स के बारे में विस्तार से लिखिए. फिर उसके बाद जो कम्युनिटी नीड असेसमेंट टूल किट आपके कोर्स बुक में दी गई है, उसका यूज करके आप एक अपनी जो आपका जो कम्युनिटी है उसकी आप जो जरूरतें हैं उसका एक पूरा लिस्ट बनाइए. और तीसरा है कि आप अपने कम्युनिटी के जो जितने भी रिसोर्सेज हैं उसकी जितनी सुख सुविधाओं के साधन है उसको आप मैप कीजिए.
Thank you so much.